Welcome to the AEGIS booth here at SMT Connect. Delighted to be joined by Michael Ford, the Senior Director of Emerging Technologies. Am I correct?
Just about.
So, Michael, I mean, a few weeks ago you were up in Hanover Fair, which is one of the biggest shows in the world. It's a very large event. It covers all industries essentially. Probably your first time there. What was the experience for an electronics MES company?
It was amazing because more than half of our customers now are outside of electronics. So you'd have thought we'd have been there in the past.
Right.
But no, this was our first time. And people were coming up to us and saying, who are you? Who is AEGIS Software? What do you represent? That's okay. And we say we're an MES company. Next question, what is MES? And it's like a different world in where, you know, in electronics, we've seen so much progress over the last 10, 15, 20 years. We come to expect that everybody knows what it means.
Yep.
But outside of electronics, they are still taking the first baby steps, collecting data, sorting it out, creating the context. But of course, now they're doing it with modern tools like IIoT, analytics, AI. And so it's almost like a culture shock for them to understand how to use technology, but use it in a way that actually creates value.
Right.
So we ended up trying to fill in the gap between the data and the value. And that was resulted in a lot of very interesting conversations.
Yeah, as I understand it, a lot of the other MES systems that work in the industrial space don't have anything like the level of granular data or capabilities that you have built into FactoryLogix.
Yeah, a lot of customers, potential customers, have specific needs that are driven by their customers. So they need traceability data or they need a control or visibility of something. But it's something.
Right.
It's not a visibility of the whole operation. And approaching things as point solutions to do these various different things achieves what they want, but you can't then stitch them together. Whereas the MES approach provides exactly the same thing and a lot more in a way that's then completely running on one platform and building a lot more value. Right. So getting that understanding into people, meaning that getting all of that, it sounds expensive, it sounds complicated, but it actually works out a lot cheaper and a lot easier to use. Right. And so getting that idea across to people is a challenge. Right. But it's nice when you see the smile, oh yes, they've got it, you know.
The light bulb goes on, yeah.
Yep.
But you know, the first step obviously in that journey has been able to connect their machines in the first place. So I understand that you have recently launched a new PLC adapter.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
The nice thing about a platform like ours, it's an ability to gather data from many different sources and build a context with the design, with the production, and you have visibility of everything in context. However, not all machines are smart, and not all processors have grown up with the capability of telling the outside world what's going on. The common thread for those kind of machines is a PLC controller. So PLCs, people think, are like little computers, and some of the modern ones are, but the vast majority are simple logic controllers.
Yeah.
So hence the LC in PLC.
Yeah.
So there are tags within those controllers that change depending on events, and it's just a sequence of events that they follow in response to some stimuli. It's not data. You have to figure out, how do I turn those tags and the changing tags into a form of data so that that can then be merged with and contextualized with everything else that we provide and fill in the gaps. Because today it's very annoying when you have a controlled progress that's smart and it goes to another controlled process that's smart and yet it didn't get there and nobody knows why. Right. So filling in these gaps, taking the flag from the PLC, being able to create data and information. And of course, AEGIS being AEGIS, we're using the latest industry standards to be able to do that. So we are converting the PLC data into CFX. Right. CFX then works seamlessly within our native environment. Plus, there are other solutions that can support CFX. Yes. And so therefore, for niche applications, you can also feed that data, for example, to an AI. So it makes the most versatile way of getting data that until now has been almost impossible to get. Right, right.
Yeah, that's incredible, and I think it's a great move forward for you. But one of the other challenges, of course, is being able to see that data and visualize it, and especially when you're working in a factory environment where you're very mobile all the time. I believe you've got a solution for that too.
Yes, and this has come as, with our years of experience in the market, we never come across the same customer twice. Everybody wants something different. I would like to use your system on my laptop. I would like it on my desk. I want to do it at home. I want to do it on my little tablet, my phone. I want to have it in the cloud. I want to have it under the desk. Who is right? And people try and answer that question, but the real answer is that they're all right.
All right.
Because they're the customers.
Yeah.
So they will have their own reasons for doing it the way they do. So rather than trying to change people's minds, doing something that might not be so good for them,
Yeah.
we've created the anywhere architecture so that all of our composed user interfaces, they can now be seen on any device. It doesn't matter it's Windows or Linux or it's a tablet or a phone. People have all of the flexibility they need to be able to simply compose what they would like to see, use it in the way they would like. It's very, very simple for each person to use, and it all gets aggregated together in the way the customer would want. So they get the benefit of the complete integrated single platform, together with the simplicity of their own composed, what am I doing right now? What's the most important for me?
So they can watch on any device.
On any device.
Watch included?
I don't see why not. I've not tried it myself, but I don't see why not. That's a good idea.
Okay. Well, it's an exciting development anyway, Michael, and it's great to catch up with some of the new things that are happening at FactoryLogix.
Okay, nice to see you again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.